This is Pop Crush Nights. I am Kayla Thomas. I am here with the one and only Shawn Mendes, here to talk about his brand new song, Wonder, that just dropped today. What's up, Shawn?
Hey Kayla, how are you?
Okay, so let's just get right into it. So, the last we heard a song from you was Senorita. Clearly, such a different feel than the song that you released today. Senorita dropped in such a different time in all of our lives. So, now here we have Wonder, and it has such a heavier feel to it. Would you say that we're getting a more mature Shawn Mendes?
Yeah, sure. I think that it's the beginning of seeing a more free Shawn Mendes, maybe, is a better way of putting it. Because I think that, especially as the album comes out, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be mature, but it's going to feel much more like I let go of the reins a little bit, and I really feel like this song is something that I listen back to, and I've always done this with my albums and songs, but something that more than ever I've listened back to and be like, damn, I really like this. I think this is really cool, and I really like how it makes me feel, and I'm dying for people to hear it. So yeah.
Well, in the song, you talk about wanting to speak your truth, but contemplating if it's worth it in fear of how the world is going to receive it. Like you almost have to speak with a filter. So, throughout your career, have you felt like you couldn't 100% be yourself? Maybe couldn't talk about the things that you wanted to talk about or put out the music that you wanted to put out because of what people would say, maybe?
Yeah, and I think that it actually has more to do with just like being human, and I think that everybody individually feels that. And I don't really think you have to be a musician or a singer to feel that way. And it really was like a moment where I sat with myself during the time off, and I felt like, look at what you do, reflecting on my career, and like, look at how amazing this is. Look how many people this music has reached. Look how many people you've played shows in front of. Make sure that you're doing this from a very honest and pure place, because it is powerful and it resonates with so many millions of people. And you know, when I'm 80, I hope that I look back and I'm like, yeah, no, I did that from that was me. That was definitely all me. And that the way I said that, that was honest. It might have been a little messy and messed up, but it was real and it was human. And I think that that's the kind of place that I came to making this music. And I put it in a few simple words. I just said, I wonder if, you know, well, I can't even remember my own lyrics now. I wonder if I'm being real when I speak. Do I filter how I feel? I think that that was just like the beginning of a super reflective time for me.
Yeah, well, and speaking of being human, I've noticed that you have been gone from social media these past few months, just been staying low key. And from listening to this song Wonder, it kind of sounds like maybe you've been going through it these past few months, as a lot of people have been. And I think that it would be cool for your fans to hear that you go through the same things that they do. So, do you mind sharing some of maybe like the hardships that you've dealt with during quarantine that inspired music like this?
Totally. And I think, the thing is, everyone has had their version of an insane year and a really hard year. And for me, it was amazing because, I mean, it's been a really difficult last few months, but it was amazing because I was so lucky to be able to be with people that I love, and like the most comforting house, and around, people that were really there for me. And I came off tour. I wanted to write an album. Lockdown happened. I moved to Miami with my girlfriend inside of her house with her parents for like 3-4 months. And when we were learning how to cook and to like do laundry, which sounds really stupid, but when you've been touring the world since you were 15, it's something that you've never done before. And it was this moment of like, wow, this is actually really nice. And at the same time, panic started setting in, and for so many reasons, the world was just a really scary place, and the collective feeling of fear and anxiety that was happening was setting in, and um, wanting to figure out how to help, and at the same time, about my life, which was like, how am I going to make this album? How am I going to make this record? And what started to happen is, as I started to just let go and surrender to what was going on more, and kind of focus on the things that are really important, it started to flow and the album started to come. And with that reflection, like, I spent a lot of days journaling. With all of that reflection came a lot of really dark and scary shadows and stuff that I was dealing with. And the amazing part about it is that I had the time and I had the space to deal with it instead of
Right.
having to like get on a plane and fly to Germany or wherever the next day. I really did have the time to go deep and think about a lot of things and feel better. And I think I really hope that, a lot of people have had similar experiences in some way. I really hope that everyone has been able to sit with themselves and help heal anything that has been sitting there maybe for a little too long. And I think that I want everyone to know, especially the fans and stuff, that I know I haven't been so active on social media, but I've been with them every single step of the way. I've been with everybody every step of the way. This is the most human thing ever, being on social media or not. I was really there, and it's been hard. It's been really hard. And yeah, I guess that's kind of, everyone, like you said, everyone's going through some version of that.
I think this time was definitely a blessing in disguise, and I keep saying it. Like it made us all pause and look at our lives differently and just be grateful and, like you said, heal. And I think it's cool that your fans are going to be able to hear what you went through in your new music. Speaking of new music, what makes what's coming out soon different than what you've put out in the past?
A lot. I wouldn't have one sentence to define that, but I guess if I had to say it in one sentence, I would say musically, I kind of went all the way, and conceptually, I let go a little bit and I freed myself up, and I wasn't so maybe afraid. I wasn't as afraid as I've been in the past. So I spent more time this time just making music and enjoying the process of making music, and less time worrying about the way people were going to feel about it when it came out. And I really think that when you do that and you focus in on the project and on the art, you end up making better art. You end up making better music because it's not coming from a place of fear and anxiety, stuff. So, yeah.
Will you be taking experiences, heartbreak, and lessons that you've learned from past and recent relationships and putting it into this new music? Like, will we be getting any love songs about a certain someone?
Yeah, I mean, to be like clear, I mean, I've never been in love until now. And in the past, I've wrote a lot about love. And I think I was doing my best based off of what I knew from people's experiences and life and rom-coms and all of that. And now I'm finally having my own version of it. And it's different. I don't know why it's different, but when you listen, you're going to hear a more honest side of it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the words are different words that I've said before, but you will feel different, I think, because something happens when you actually experience it for yourself for the first time.
Oh, absolutely. It's so different. And I hope that everybody gets to experience it in their lifetime. Well, thank you, Shawn, for coming on with me. We cannot wait for more new music. The song Wonder is amazing. It's out right now on all streaming platforms. It actually made me tear up, and we're excited to hear more.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
This is Pop Crush Nights.